Good afternoon. County Executive Rich Fitzgerald here with Dr. Deborah Bogan from the Allegheny County Health Department doing our weekly update on COVID-19. As we get near the end of the pandemic, or at least towards the back end of where we were, we continue to see numbers continue to drop, and Dr. Bogan will give those updates. So we're seeing better and better results. We also getting the vaccinations. They're happening. We're almost 72%, at least one shot in arms of the adult population, 52% of fully vaccinated with 2 shots in arms. But that still leaves an awful lot of folks that haven't been vaccinated, more than a couple of 100,000 of our Allegheny County residents. You know, we've seen nationally that the cases have continued to drop, the death rate continues to drop, the vaccinations are heading up. And there was a big rating that came out just this week that had Pennsylvania listed as the 5th best, using a lot of different metrics, using the cases, using vaccinations, using fatality rates, hospitalizations, all kind of efficacy things that they've put into that mix. And in large part, the reason Pennsylvania is number 5 is because of the great work that's happened here in Allegheny County, the 2nd largest county in the Commonwealth. We want to continue along those lines. You see again this week with no mask, the CDC recommendations that came out last week to give more people freedom, the freedom of not having to wear a mask if you have been vaccinated. So for those 28% or so that haven't received that first shot, that freedom and that relief of not worrying if you haven't been vaccinated, that when you get a little bit of a fever, or you get a little achy, or you get a headache, or you lose your taste of smell, that worry of that you're going to have COVID goes away when you have your vaccine. So we want to make sure everybody gets vaccinated. We continue to be healthy, and as we move into the summer months, that we'll be able to be back to normal with so many of the events that we want to see. So with that, let me turn it over to Dr. Bogan to give her weekly report. Dr. Bogan.
Thank you, County Executive. Good afternoon. Welcome back to our weekly briefing. Like last week, I'll start today with encouraging news. The daily average count of new cases continues to decline, and we are now averaging fewer than 130 new cases a day. That's several consecutive weeks of improvement, and for that reason and others, I am hopeful that we can keep the numbers heading in the right direction, especially as we approach May 31st and the lifting of all mitigation orders, except for the mask mandate, in the state of Pennsylvania. So what's the best way to maintain our momentum? Well, here are a few things we can do. First, we must remain vigilant. For instance, our new cases generally trace back to the same sources: parties, graduation celebrations, family gatherings, including weddings and funerals. We've had recent cases traced back to church youth groups, skating rink outings, and sporting events such as hockey tryouts, soccer tournaments, and cheerleading practice. At these events, attendees generally do not wear masks or remain physically distanced, and many are held indoors. That's a combination that will lead to the spread of COVID-19, especially among the unvaccinated. We also know there's confusion about when after vaccination you are protected. Some people who recently tested positive for COVID-19 were in fact already vaccinated, but had not waited the full 2 weeks after their final dose before they stopped wearing masks, physically distancing, and avoiding large groups. Some of them are now hesitant to get vaccinated in the future because they believe that the vaccine, quote, didn't work. The truth is the vaccines do work, but I remind everyone, full protection does not come until 14 days after the final dose. That's important to remember. So today, when I urge everyone to get vaccinated, I'll add this addendum. Get vaccinated and then wait 14 days after your final dose for full protection. After that, you can, as the CDC says, go maskless in most outdoor settings and even indoors with others who are fully vaccinated. Getting vaccinated is the key to keeping the numbers low. It's really that simple. COVID-19 might never fully go away, but with enough people vaccinated, we can manage small outbreaks, mainly among the unvaccinated, and regain control of our lives. Having said that, let's review the vaccination rates this week, which also continue to improve. In Allegheny County, 68% of the population is now at least partially vaccinated. More than 95% of those 65 and older are partially or fully vaccinated, and we're making progress with younger people. 64% of people 35 to 50, 53% of people 20 to 35, and 30% of those 16 to 18 are partially or fully vaccinated. Of course, as we urge all those eligible to be vaccinated, we recognize that some people may need help with things like transportation to and from vaccination sites. I'd like to discuss what is being done to address the important transportation needs. Anyone who needs transportation help to get to an Allegheny County Health Department vaccination site can call 211 to arrange for a ride. Access rides would usually cost $3 to get to vaccine appointments. With a 211 referral are free. There are other resources available as well, including Ride United, a partnership between the United Way and Lyft to get people to their vaccinations for free. I mention this because we want to make sure it is as easy as possible for everyone to get vaccinated. We want to remove all obstacles. Now that Pfizer can be administered to children as young as 12, we're planning school-based and library clinics. We've launched projects to reach immigrant and refugee populations. We know that many people have concerns about vaccine safety, and so we've reached out to targeted audiences to dispel myths and increase vaccine confidence. And we will continue to do so. We will continue to do everything we can to protect the residents of Allegheny County, to promote community health and wellness, and to provide a path to return to our old ways of life. As I said last week, and I say again now, we're better when we work together, and we can do this together. Thank you. Please be safe and be kind. Thank you.
There are actually no questions that have been submitted for this week's briefing. So if you have any closing remarks, be happy to entertain those now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bogan. It's good to see that folks are, continuing to take the advice, and again, as we want to get everybody in the county vaccinated and everybody in southwestern Pennsylvania, as Dr. Bogan said, we're there to help as far as transportation and access and all the things that we can do, information, whatever it might be. These vaccines, they work. They give you peace of mind. They give you all the freedom that we've been missing for the last 14 months. So let's go ahead and get these vaccinations done.